It's morning already? Oh, Paimon still needs more sleep. Huh? Wait, look over there. It's one of Liddy's cards. Let Paimon see. Maybe you haven't heard. It's been a while since we last... Ooh, today's our lucky day. We have the day off. From the sound of it, Liddy's been making progress. We still have some time before...
Take it easy.
Look, there are some people talking over there.
If you ask me, those pompous parasites on the surface act like they're all about...
Hey, speak for yourself, mate. I'm not...
Oh, you think you're special or something? If you're here, then you're just a convict like the rest of them.
I don't buy that.
Hey, how cool would it be if the whole world was destroyed by a giant flood?
What kind of filthy bilgewater are you spewing? I have family. Listen, things ain't so great on the surface, but who says that you have to leave? I've heard that you can still stay here and work even after you've served your sentence. Who wants to live in the ruddy over...
And what makes you think they want to hire someone like you?
Whoa, sounds like they're real. Speaking of which, Paimon never heard anyone. That's true. There's a group of people over there.
So I said, that's not a faucet. Hey, who are you two?
Oh, sorry for eavesdropping. Sounds like you were talking.
What's the matter? They're just looking and...
Hey, don't pretend like it's okay for them to just interrupt us like that.
You hear that, Quisto?
Your expressions tell me you're looking to hear some juicy info, am I right? But before...
Really? Are we that big?
You kidding? How often does anyone get a personal tour led by His Grace himself? Practically everyone was talking about it. Word has it that you also caused quite the
A little mistake, huh? I like the way you put it. You see, people with a good attitude can join our group anytime.
Your group?
I'm Quisto, and this is Lavaroon. People usually call us the Bombshell Bros, but don't worry, we're not playing with bombs or anything. It's just that our info...
So, you two really like to gossip?
No, you don't get it. Knowing intelligence will make things better for you here. For example, whoa, all this info's worth something, you know?
I don't mind him. Quisto's always this way. Just play nice. It's the welfare meals. Talk about the welfare meals.
Right. That meal we had yesterday was super delicious. Paimon...
Is that so? To tell you the truth, I've been helping out with making those welfare meals. I've been working as a kitchen...
Oh, so you're the one who made those delicious steaks. Amazing.
You are correct. I am a true professional. Since you like my cooking, I guess that means we share similar tastes. Listen carefully. This little... Listen, kids. The power structure within the fortress is quite complicated. The overworlders couldn't care less. You've already met the one person here you should never cross, the Duke, Risley. He knows more than you think. And if he doesn't care about something...
Those who have the Duke's attention get all kinds of special perks.
I know who you mean. It's that Jurier character, right? I don't think there's anything useful about him at all. Why does he visit the infirmary practically every day? Isn't what?
But did you know that Churia was a talented researcher from the Fontaine Research Institute?
I don't care if he was a researcher that could turn dirt into Mora. Once you're in the fortress of Meripede, you're just another inmate like it. Speaking of which, the last time I saw him, he was passing by in the corridor with Lorvine. I also heard they started arguing in the library and got into a...
You mean he hit a woman? Wow, I never imagined he was that bad.
But that Lorvine's also quite the odd one, you know? She's always gabbing away, got into a...
Wait a second.
Do you think... Could it be that they're secretly meeting there to go on date?
After all, I do remember seeing Lorvine beat Churia to a pulp that one time.
You over there? Yeah, you. Say, do you like playing card games? You know, like Genius Invocation TCG?
You TCG players are like mint in the wild. Literally sprout.
Hey, come on now. What's wrong with finding all right.
But why would you be looking for people to play Genius Invocation in a place like this?
Whether you're throwing down cards or throwing punches, it's all a competition, isn't it? There are lots of card players here in the fortress. When I saw you, I even thought, hey, even outsiders from other nations play cards. So, sure.
Great! Since you've been here longer than us, you need to flex your seniority a little bit, right? Maybe you could start by telling us newcomers.
I thought you would have already heard everything by now. All right, then. Did you have anything specific in mind? Or do you...
Why don't you pick? We'll let you know if we've heard it already.
All right. Have you heard any strange rumors? Then did you know that there are some people who are all... There are two guys who are always skulking around in the corners of corridors gossiping. The bigger guy is Quisto, and the skinny one is Lavaroon. I never really found their gossip very mind-blowing. And it's pretty much just the same stuff that I hear about when I'm at work If you're interested, you can go talk with them. They tend to talk a lot of nonsense, but...
Good to know. Do you have anything else?
Let me think. Sounds like you want to hear something... Oh, did you know that the Duke was also a convict?
Huh? Wait,
That's right. The Duke was an inmate just like you and me. Seems he was exiled here for committing some crime. Who knows how he ended up rising to go from an ordinary inmate to becoming the manager of the whole place? I'm not gonna lie. A forbidden zone? Sounds like something that someone just made up. I've never heard of...
it's just a rumor we've been hearing, but no worries if you've never heard of it. Do you have anything else?
Anything else? Not that I can think of, but I'll be sure to tell you anything interesting I hear next time. You'll have to play a game of Genius Invocation.
Okay, we've talked to just about everyone, and it's about time for us to go meet Linny. According to the card he left us, we should go meet him in the production zone.
You found something?
Hey, this is no time to be modest. Just tell him we found a boatload of information.
Oh, as expected of the legendary duo, you have my full... I'd have never guessed that myself. The rumors swirling about this place are unreliable after all. He is a harbinger after all. I suppose he's much more resourceful. Unfortunately, it isn't enough for our final report to Father. We need to find... Father told me that even though Master Child said he was just coming to Fontaine for a vacation, he actually had some personal reasons. His
escape route is already flooded, so we'll have to task someone with professional...
Well, when you put it that way, it's obvious that only Fremine would be up to the
Bingo!
He's working today. Coming here as a group would have attracted too much. No need to thank me. This was always a part. Honestly, I'm far more impressed by you guys managing to collect all this information right under Rise.
Collecting information has always been our...
Now, let me think. To find out more information, Fremine will have to retrace map, and if he's to do that, he'll have to set out on the next pipe cleaning day at the earliest. That's 6 days from now.
You can even estimate how long it'll take for him to get back?
We've been working together for a long time. We know each traveler. What say you to meeting here 9 days from now? We'll be able to pick up Fremine well... Oh, and there's just one last thing we'd like your help. Though we can just sit back and wait for Fremine's report on Master Child's whereabouts, we still need to... Fremine's no master of disguise. Lynette's still working on getting intel from the other areas, and I'll need to spend some time helping Fremine prepare for his diving mission.
What do you want us to do? Will it...
Well, I won't call it easy per se, but I think you'll be able to pull it. Listen carefully. You'll need to find an excuse to get into the infirmary and invest. You've mentioned several sketchy-looking people always meeting at the infirmary earlier, so it probably has something to do with the secret we're hoping to uncover. You've already investigate the internal structure of the infirmary and any active dealings within, and pass those on to me alongside anything else, but also there's no need to take risks. Don't forget, safety always comes first. My apologies. I just started rambling out of habit. It was almost as if I was talking to my younger sister.
But that's not a bad thing, right? All right, then we'll head out as soon...
Let's go our separate ways for now then. Don't forget, we meet here again in 9...
Hey, stay here for now. Paimon will take a peek. There seem to be several people...
Right. I feel... It's not impossible.
So, it's a bit hard to understand them from here. So, why don't... Someone, please help! She...
Whoa, are you okay?
Oh my! What's wrong, little one? There's no need to panic. Take a deep breath before you begin. The traveler started complaining of a stomachache, and then nausea, and then collapsed onto the ground. Paimon doesn't know what to do! Freezing limbs, twitching fingers, and pale complexion. Let me take a look. Please lie down over here. Don't worry, I'll get you to the bed safely. Here, hold on to my shoulder and walk slowly. You can do it. Don't apologize. You're sick after all. Now, please relax. I'm just going to do a preliminary checkup on you. My checkup has confirmed that she's not in any mortal... Oh, that's good. I'll continue my diagnosis of the don't sense serious And... But... what about here? Oh, I think you just ate something that did... So that's what it is. Congratulations. risk is incredibly low, so you should recover. Miss Levine, I'll have to trouble you to help me look after this new patient while I'm gone.
Very well.
And she hopped away just like that.
Hello. So how are you feeling now?
Her stomach aches really bad. She was stumbling about the whole.
If Miss Sejuin says it's not a serious problem, then there's no...
But it also looks like she's.
Well,
What do you mean that's true? That's right, though they may have committed crimes and gotten locked up here as...
yeah, you're right.
That's correct.
Are you two?
We've been sick a while. I come back every once in a while for check. You could say
Please watch your mouth, Mr. Jurrier. Don't forget that you are the primary reason I have frequent heart palpitations.
Hey, don't start arguing now. Please keep it. Hey! There's no need to fight. Everyone will be released.
release. It's.
Please allow me to end this boring and useless conversation.
And same to you, Miss Lorvine. Anyway, that was more than enough rest for me, so I'm going to get out of this excessively noisy place.
He just slowly walked off like that?
That's just what he's like. I'm sorry you had to see all of that. I'm Lorvine, and that's... Well, his name is Jurrier, but I hope you'll never have cause to remember his name.
You really can't stand him, huh?
I mean, can you blame me? Look, who would like someone who's as arrogant and obsessed with weird research topic? I'll accompany you two for a while. No, it's nothing.
I'm back! Did you rest like you promised?
Thank you for getting our medicine, Miss Sejuin.
Did you all cooperate with your bed rest? I trust that nobody got up to walk around. Good. Here, this should be 2 days' worth of medicine for you. Take... Miss Levine, I left in a bit of a hurry just now. Do you still remember if we discussed the color of the pill that you should...
I remember.
Yellow, huh? I understand. These are yours.
All right, then I'll also be on my way now. I hope you feel...
See ya! I'm going to fill out your medical record now. You're widely known as the Traveler, right? I just want to... Those two made quite the commotion just now, so why don't we let the Traveler rest? Paimon can... So her primary symptoms are abdominal pain, with secondary symptoms... Alright then. Is there anything we should know besides to take the med? No, her base constitution is quite good, so I'm sure she'll recover quite quickly after taking the medicine. Please, make sure to stick to bland or less stimulating foods, and don't stay up too late at night. Got it! Papa will hold the Traveler to that for sure. Oh, you're going to take a nap already? Okay then. We've been to lots of places together. She may look a bit under the weather now, but she's actually super strong. Oh, so you're the best of companions. Well, don't worry, she'll recover soon. You're awake. How do you feel? You slept for a really long time, but we never left. Well, now you can go back without a worry in the world. Remember to take your meds regularly, and... Thank you, Miss Sejuin! something. To be able to fall asleep like that and even sleep talk? No, but you can't. Paimon talked with. Whoa, you really.
Did you two run into any trouble over the past few days?
No, we just worked our shifts according to the.
That's good. That means you did. We've taken a look at the slip you've sent. Fremine successfully left the grounds via the pipes 2 days ago, and as of last night, Lynette has also infiltrated.
Wait, why is she getting involved as well?
You already went above and beyond when you scoped out the infirmary. To put it more bluntly, even if we were to view that as something you didn't, infiltrating a guarded stronghold is a different kind of job from a one-off investigation. Lynette also felt like you have already taken the first step for us, so she should be the one to finish the job.
So that's what Lynette thinks.
Perhaps that's true. You are both very good people, and we've come to appreciate that more than anyone else. Unfortunately, there's still one thing you've mentioned before, that you've had some run-ins with the Fatui. I can understand that feeling, so
Well, everyone could use some more friends. We'll be counting on you to help us in the future.
Since I see you as friends, then it's even more important for us to protect you from any peril. Fremine and Lynette feel the same. Glad to hear it. Then, let's go check on Lynette before Fremine returns. If everything went well, then she should be wrapping up her...
Is now really a good time?
According to my observations, Sijuin always spends around half an hour away from the infirmary right before lunch. Also, I'm her brother, remember? It's only natural for an older brother to care about his young...
Okay, then let's head over.
Lynette should be... Strange.
As expected, Sijuin isn't here, but...
No, Lynette rarely deviates from the plan. Unless...
Let's see if there are any clues around here. We can look while we wait.
Okay.
There are some books here. Advanced nursing. These sure are some interesting books. She even has books on understanding
Seems quite normal to... None of the beds have any signs of having been slept in.
That's the one Lynette must have used, right? You said she was pretending to...
She would have said her... Which means either the head nurse didn't return the entire time from when... Wait, this thing? It doesn't look like it's been disguised that well. The space behind it is empty. From its size, I don't think it's an entrance that is meant to be taken apart. Could Lynette have tried to get inside? But if that's the case, she would have contacted... Let's look around here for some more clues. slip of paper?
It's right over here, and there's a bunch written on it too. It reads, "Out of respect for your usual practices, I'll use a piece of paper or card as the medium to pass on my message. You
This is...
Is that all? The back. This
Show me! Now!
that look on your face. Would you care to guess where Miss Lynette of the Fatui? No. Could she have?
Risley... Did he deliberately leave the infirmary unguarded to use it as...
Wait, you mean he was aware of our goals from the very beginning? But why? We didn't run into any trouble last time, and he also never reached out to us since.
Yes, that is a crucial question. Risley, he doesn't do anything without a clear goal or reason. So this means he had no concerns about your activity. You are not from the same camp as us. You were sent down here by Nervilet, so you have no conflict of interest with Risley. We're a completely different story, though. I'd like to know that, too. Why did he... Don't panic. Just think everything over. I have to stay calm. This is... Wait, you're right. The fact that Fremine was able to leave the grounds... Could Risley have let...
What does he gain by letting Fremine leave like...
So he's challenging me and trying to... We never should have sent out Fremine. We had to go through all that trouble to find an opening to sneak him around the guards and into the pipe, and we even thought luck was on... If Risley let him leave on purpose, then he's probably...
Lenny's getting more and more panicked. We have to calm him down. Don't be like this, Lenny. Fremine wouldn't have left if we hadn't told you about Child.
No, I'm the leader of this operation, and I'm the one responsible for this team.
Hey, don't be reckless! Traveler, please talk.
I simply cannot allow Lynette to be abducted. I have to go. I'll find a way to get them...
He's rushed out the door! After him!
Right. I feel like we still have some room to make changes on these...
It's not impossible, but it'll require extensive time.
Is that so? Very well.
Is someone...
Pack everything up. Whoever's outside is eavesdropping. They'll probably come in once we stop talking. Someone! Please help! She's sick!
Whoa, are you okay?
These two. As expected, what a delightful turn of events. I like smart people, but I also... Oh my! What's wrong, little one? Being able to read human expressions is quite the... Wait! It's no use, we have to catch up to him! He's already out of sight! How is he so fast? Let's go head him off at Risley's office!
Come out and face me, Risley!
Aren't we at an administrative office space? Why don't you at least try to follow even a couple...
What did you do to my sister?
I ran into the young miss at the infirmary. I'd heard that she was suffering from quite the migraine, so I decided to invite her over for a cup of tea. I do have some teas in my collection that can work wonders against such an illness.
Stop joking around! Where did you take my...
I have also heard that your performances are quite the spectacle. Miss Lynette would sometimes enter a box filled with water, only to emerge the next second from... Maybe she'll appear behind you right now if you were to turn your head.
Is he trying to trick me into turning my head? No, He's probably not looking to attack me right now. All of the hostages are in his hand. You knew we were investigating the infirmary from the start. So you deliberately aroused the traveler's suspicions and baited us into continuing our investigation, just so that you'd be able to... As for Fremine, no, you probably didn't even interfere with Child's escape. You let him go, so you could purge the Fatui members that we had planted.
There was no need to do so. The fortress of Meripede is a pretty pleasant place. Most people enjoy their lives here. The only ones who act differently are those with personal agendas. It was quite...
You removed our original members and spread the news of Child's escape so Father would assign our team to come down and investigate. Fremine has also fallen into your hands, right? If you're oh so omnipotent and so in control, why would you need...
One correction. Lynette is in my hands right now, but...
He's not. What do you...
Oh, wonderful. Everyone is here, so I'll only need to say this once. Thank you so much for cooperating. Eager and to the point, I see. Alas, only Miss Lynette is currently having a cup of the fortress. Although, as per your original plan, Mr. Fremine should also have returned to the fortress by now. But he has neither shown up within my gates, nor has he been taken into any kind of custody. So...
Wait, you can't... You locked him outside in the sea?
I closed the fortress's gate to the outside world.
Fremine's a star diver, so he should be...
No, we're still here, so he definitely tried to find a way to come back for us. So we can't assume he might have made a break for the serpent.
Why would I do this, you may be asking? To have an audience with you, of course. My intel tells me that Mr. Linney is a great magician, so it's only natural for me to want to have some cards of my own when it comes to... Besides, I do recall you mentioning to Miss Lynette that you've always wanted to have a face-to-face meeting with the Lord of the Fortress of Meripede, regardless of whether it was in a personal or a...
So, you've been keeping tabs on us before we even set foot in the fortress.
Some of my folks just happened to hear a thing or two, that's all. In any case, I was willing to play dumb and turn a blind eye, so we had a pleasant few days playing games together here. But once you started focusing on the Forbidden Zone, Mr. Linney, the cards are stacked against you right now. Miss Lynette is in my hands, and Mr. Fremine is still slowly being pickled out there in the brine. You know just as well as I that he cannot last out there. You need do but one thing to guarantee their safety. I would like you to contact your superior, and ideally invite her over for a cup of...
You want to see Father? But why should she bother giving you an audience?
Well, if she cares for the well-being of her dearest children, she should have plenty of motivation to join me for... I've heard that the bonds between the members of the House of the Hearth are like the bonds of family.
Why did you think Father sent us to handle the Fortress of Meripede? This place is basically a no man's land. It wouldn't be fitting for anyone as important as a harbinger like Father to come...
Oh, I see. So it's because she doesn't care for my place here. That's such a shame. After all, I've amassed quite the tea collection. I was looking forward to...
Was this the extent of your master plan to get to Father? No matter how much pressure you may put on me, I won't allow you to use us to...
You people really are difficult to get along with. All I'm asking for is a face-to-face conversation. Does she truly have no interest? Mr. Linney, you have one last chance to invite your...
Linney!
Instead of asking why I'm doing this, why don't you try to see things from my perspective for a second? From the very beginning, I gave you a warning by cutting off the first few operatives I found, but that only caused you to double down. Had you given up on the fortress then and there, I'd have no reason to want to talk. Mr. Fremine left the fortress on his own, and Miss Lynette tried to pry out my secrets right in front of me. No matter how you look...
I shouldn't ask Father to do anything...
6.
Wait,
2. Time's up.
Risley!
Negotiations have broken down. Please leave, lady.
Yeah, listen to the Traveler. If you can't talk to Linney, can you at least...
You do realize that I'm only letting you go because of Neuvillette, yes? You're here helping him out, and I've already done my best to stay out of your way. But that doesn't mean you can just do whatever you want. The fortress may be small and... Then how about this? Those who are capable deserve respect. You've spent quite some time investigating my home turf by now, so why don't you tell me a thing or two about what you found? I'll ask you 3 questions. Answer all of them correctly. Question 1. Regarding the hidden rules of the production zone, what is the truth behind the one about not being allowed to work for 3 days?
That the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. Miss Sijuin observed. The Fonta promoter has been I've been told that the infirmary. The research note said that the According to Collins, the Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed. Fonta's internal reports suggest that the research note said that the Fonta promoter has been. I've been told that the infirmary is always. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place because the Fonta company sponsored it. I've been told that the infirmary. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. But the product has. The research note said that the
So that's what's going on. The hidden rule of the production zone. People are not supposed to work 3 days in a row, and if they do, they'll get strange meat. At first we thought this strange meat must have something to do with the people who disappeared. But in reality, she often visits the production zone to observe the workers' health and makes a note of anyone who has worn themselves out after 3. Out of her sense of duty as the head nurse, as well as her genuine concern for the workers' health, Sijuin visits the cafeteria right before lunch and cooks an extra dish. Sijuin has only the best intentions with her surprise gift and doesn't want anyone to find out. Unfortunately, Melusines as a race perceive the world differently from humans, and the recipients of her lovingly prepared special meals cannot taste the care. Are we on the right track?
Not bad. You've uncovered Sijuin's secret and even guessed her intentions correctly as well. It's nice to know that her efforts have not gone. Alright, now for my next question. There are also some hidden rules in the Pancration ring, including the one that you're not allowed to support both sides of a fight.
That the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an unnamed and unpackaged product. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. The Fonta promoter has been struggling because he doesn't recognize the real value of coupons. Meanwhile, the research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently from humans. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only took place. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the Fonta promoter has been. I've been told that the infirmary is always empty for the half hour just before lunch. We often see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production. The research note said that the Melusine race perceives the world very differently. According to Collins, the Pancration tournament only. I've been told that the infirmary. Fonta's internal reports suggest that they're starting a new trial of an
see Miss Sijuin observing the prisoners at work near the production zone. It seems like she can perceive. The research note said that the Melusine race, according to Collins,
Emma gets this rule too now. So they're really that hidden rule of the pancreation ring is about how, people are not supposed to bet on both boxers at the same time. And if they do, they'll receive a... People get scared when they see it because they've subconsciously begun to associate it with the missing boxer. But really, it's just a bottle of the latest yet-to-be-named and packaged new Fanta trial. A blood-red drink. It's no wonder even Fanta's own staff, the company facing backlash from its own staff, decided to try to trial the product, and the Smallers, they came to the Fortress of Meropide and offered to sponsor the Pancration tournament so they could push their new product. But the Duke, knowing how valuable coupons are in the fortress, knew that only and so only those who proved their stupidity by being dumb enough to bet on two opposing sides of the same match were selected to receive the drinks.
I acknowledge the effort you've put into bringing the truth of this mystery to light. Although, based on your description, that Fanta promoter is a bit too careless with his words. I may just reconsider my collaboration. All right, and here's the final question. What's the secret behind our head nurse and all of her patients in the infirmary?
Stop your cruel and pointless games, Risley! You know that we haven't finished our investigation, so there's no way we can answer the last question. The thought of sparing Lynette and You'll pay for this!
Lenny, are you alright?
Oh, close one. I owe you, Sijuin. That was a fantastic shot.
It was nothing, Your Grace. Sijuin? Though this gun may look like a toy, it's actually fully functional.
Sijuin... You...
Not at all. I am merely a resident of the fortress, and thus protecting when Monsieur Nervulette asked me to come here. He told me that my job would be to take care of the well-being of everyone here. But if you mean what you just said, then isn't Linny someone you should be looking after as well? Isn't he a resident here just like... But I really am just doing what Monsieur Nervulette told me to do. Everything I did, I've done to protect them. Had I not, they would be in far more dire straits, right? His Grace knows it too, right? Your Grace? Mind proving my innocence to them?
My dear Sijuin, whatever shall I do with you? Would it have killed you to just wait another minute or two?
Well, it's nearly time after all. The way you do things can be truly frustrating sometimes, Your Grace. I figured I should try to talk some sense into you. What are you talking about?
Take me if you want.
How touching. Can you just give me one more minute?
Don't be like that, Your Grace.
All right, everyone, calm down. 2 more visitors will be... I'll go get a cup of tea. Miss Sijuin, I leave Miss Lynette in your care.
You...
I believe I hear footsteps.
Some space, please.
Ah, Miss Clarand. My door.
Lemonade...
What's going on? What is Clarine doing here?
Work.
I'm sorry about shooting you, Mr. Linney. The tranquilizing effect will begin to wear off soon. Please take it easy in the meantime, though.
What happened to Fremine? Wasn't he diving just outside of the fortress? Why is he looking like...
Flushed face, an accelerated pulse. He must have...
What did you say?
Please, make some space. I'll need to give Mr. Fremine a more thorough checkup. Your Grace...
I'll talk to Clarand while you get Fremine to where he needs to be.
How is he?
These symptoms are probably caused by an acute ingestion of a large amount of primordial seawater. Of course, it would be best if he stayed for further observation. Let's leave him here for now and move him to the infirmary once. Sorry. I am aware that the infirmary may not be your favorite place in the world at the moment. We do only have.
Why would he ingest a large amount of primordial seawater after leaving the fortress?
Please, look after Mr. Fremine for the moment. I'll go fetch some medicine and a respirator.
Where is she? How is she right now?
Oh, she just took a nap in an empty room after I tranquilized her. If my calculations are correct, she should also be waking up right around now. You might not believe me, but His Grace and I actually made some snack.
What's that look on your face? I thought I made good time on the way back.
Oh, I'm just admiring your punctuality. Had you arrived just a few minutes later, Siegewien may have been forced to shoot Mr. Lenny again. How's the situation out there?
The water has changed. It's pretty much as expected. The concentration of primordial sea... I was only out there a short time, so it wasn't too bad. But if one were to stay for any significant amount of time... Well, you can see how that boy's do...
Where was he when you found him?
The abandoned zone at the end of the pipes. A good distance...
Closer than I thought. He must have recognized it early on and tried desperately to swim.
Locking the door was necessary. I don't think we could have saved two.
Well, I did try to convince him that I had my reasons.
It would probably work on Neuvillette. He has a knack for picking out who had good intentions, even when the outcomes were all...
It's a bad sign if you're having to plead your case to Neuvillette. Want some tea?
Not particularly. If you want to drink some that badly, just say so.
Fine, I'd like to get some tea. Want me to get you a cup too, since I've already made it?
Might as well then, I suppose. Actually, do you have a towel? I would like to drink...
Lenny, are you okay?
I'll be fine. They're all here now.
Are you sure? You don't look alright.
My hands and feet are still a bit weak, but that's probably just the residual effects of...
I'm back, everyone.
Lenny! Oh. Fremine?
He'll be fine. But for now, please...
His breathing's beginning to slow down.
Give me a hand and help me get him to the infirmary.
Yeah, I'll take him from this side.
On it. Traveler, you seem pretty worried about him. Want to come with us?
The Duke and Clarande are gone.
They probably went to get some tea. The Duke will explain the truth in just a bit. Miss Clarande will need a break, since she...
Take it easy.
He's awake. Fremine.
We're all here. The infirmary at the Fortress of Meripede, Mr. Fremine. And
How do you feel? Don't push yourself if you're not.
Traveler. The sea. There's something wrong with the seawater. Shh, it's okay. We can talk. No, listen to me. This is really serious. There's primordial seawater mixed into the regular seawater.
I don't know why it's there. Pipes. Right, the pipes. It's all coming back to me now. I'm in. Where could Master Child be? This mechanism looks like it's been tampered with. Could he have done it? This is where the water starts. Master... vegetation here is a bit more sparse. These traces aren't natural. A person must have left them, and recently. There are traces here too. I need to keep going. The traces are gone, but I don't see where he could have gone from here. Wait, what the? My heart is racing, and it's getting harder and harder to breathe. What? No good. I have to get back. They still don't know anything about what's going on. If I turn back right now, I should still be able to make it. I can't die here. I have to push on.
That's right. I tried my best to swim back, but I had already put some distance between myself and the fortress, and I just couldn't find the strength to keep going.
Miss Clarande brought you back, but we also don't know why she just suddenly appeared at the fortress, or why she would—
Miss Clarande, you say? I must—
You're still too weak for Monet. You can go after you— Miss Lynette is right. I believe Miss Clarande will stay here as a guest for another few—
A guest? Then I can assume Risley was the one who invited her to come.
You should ask His Grace about that. He'll be able to explain better than me.
Yeah, it's about time he actually told us what's going on. Wanna come with—
No, please go on without me.
Lenny.
The logical part of my brain is aware that we're safe right now, but I still can't bring myself to leave.
Understood. Then let's just— In that case, I'll leave the infirmary to you. The Traveler and I are going to head out for now. As long as you stay in here, I don't—
Thank you.
I take it Mr. Fremonet's condition has stayed.
Of course! I wouldn't have left the infirmary.
I've been expecting those two, but might I inquire as to the purpose of your visit, Miss?
I wanted to check up on Miss Clarande.
Mostly fine.
If you don't mind, I'd like to perform another quick physical exam. It'll just take a few—
All right. Thank you for looking out for me.
Well, want to explain yourself, Risley?
Of course, but I'm not partial to the word choice of explain. Where should I begin? How about you start by asking me any questions you have?
Then Paimon will begin. Did you—
No. I just knew they were Fatui operatives sent to the fortress by the Knave. As for their specific goals—
You managed to monitor and stay ahead of them even though you didn't know what they were—
They came here with ulterior motives. I'm quite adept at discerning what that kind of behavior signals. Initially, I thought their goal was just to investigate Childs. Linny suggested that I had deliberately let him escape, but in truth, I didn't really do anything special to help or hinder him while he was here. Everything he did, from finding helpers to leaving this place— Of course, it's inevitable that the Knave would make a big deal out of her fellow Harbinger's unexplained— I'm also quite curious about where that Harbinger went. So I figured I might as well let the Fatui do their own investigative work.
So you were hoping Linny's group would just do your work—
You make it sound like that's a bad thing. Unfortunately, things didn't go as planned. I assume that Fremonet has told you already, the ratio of primordial seawater around the fortress of Meripede at the Forbidden Zone has always been Linny's target, and you got roped into that investigation after running into him. I began to intervene out of concern for your safety, and also to prevent the fortress from becoming—
Are the rumors true? That you're also a former criminal?
Now, why would you put it like that? Isn't staying here all day and serving as the manager of the fortress a kind of sentence unto itself? Another form of—
Oh, right! Paimon wanted to ask, who invited Clarande down here?
Me, of course. I paid her good mora to come down to the fortress for some field work. As a champion duelist, Miss Clarande can be considered to be an independent party. I needed to find an exceptional—
And saving Fremonet was part of—
You can think of it like that, yes. Credit where credit is due, that's not something you should be asking after. Nevertheless, all I need to prove to you is that the Forbidden Zone had nothing to do with the Harbinger's disappearance.
But we've already uncovered that there's something wrong with the infirmary, and we've answered a bunch of questions that you threw at us.
You make a compelling case. Do you really want to know the answer that badly?
Yeah, Paimon really—
Even if the truth may not be pleasant, follow me.
hidden door here? And a whole basement behind it? Huh. You're pretty good at hiding stuff, Risley.
It seems you've forgotten just what kind of place the fortress... Stand on the central...
Wait, is there a secret mechanism or... Whoa! So, this is the Forbidden Zone? Honestly, for a place so well hidden, what a huge door!
There are 3 such isolation gates in total. Generally speaking, I'm the only one who's allowed to go inside. Am I correct to assume you're going to run on back and tell your little Fatui friend?
Well, Paimon wasn't thinking of keeping it.
Well, I'd advise you wait until you've seen the whole truth of this place for yourself before deciding whether or not...
So there's a switch on the side.
Stand back.
Whoa! They all just went up one by one.
Go on, have a look. I've been interested in what lies beyond that gate ever since I assumed leadership of the Fortress of Meripede. Of course, it would be unwise to recklessly open it, but it'd also be risky and negligent to simply ignore any potential danger that could be behind it. The readings on that dashboard have not budged since the day when I first laid eyes on this place. But over the past year, the needle has crept upwards from its original position, likely because some parameter it's been tracking has changed, if only infinitesimally. Normally, I would have ignored it, but I happened to have some free time when I noticed it, so I investigated. Very reasonable guesses. I've considered both of those as well. The temperature should vary with weather and climate changes, so for something that rarely shifts, the water pressure is more likely. We ran later on, a few more possibilities occurred to me, such as a potential connection with the primordial sea. Over the past few days, the needle has moved again. With that, and the symptoms that Fremine displayed after leaving the fortress, I can now confidently
The concentration of primordials.
And that is precisely the problem. We're at the bottom of the sea, and now we're surrounded by toxic seawater. Somehow, primordial sea... Yes, that's very...
But forget about the 2 of us. Not even Novelette knows where the primordial sea could be.
Seems like you've figured it out. I believe the primordial sea lies directly beneath this sluice gate. For some reason, the primordial seawater levels the indicators are now red. Although the gate still stands, some primordial seawater has already leaked out, and if this continues, soon it will no longer be able to hold back the primordial sea at all. Yeah, you know what the legends say. If this place falls, then everyone in Fontaine will be turned into puddles in the span of an...
But that's just too weird! Why would the Fortress of Meripede be built right above a sluice gate for the primordial sea?
Your expression tells me you think this might be part of a vast, complicated conspiracy. To be honest, you might find it's just that the secret of the Forbidden Zone had been long forgotten by the nation before I rediscovered it with my research. There's no single founder of the Fortress of Meripede in any traditional sense. When the previous High Archon Egeria ruled the land, all convicted criminals from Fontaine were exiled. The criminals received no sympathy of any kind from the people. They were exiled to the desolate seaside, where they experienced only pain, struggle. Some of them began to repent and prayed to the Hydro Archon, asking if there was still anything they could do. The Hydro Archon and so, leaning on the power of the Hydro Archon, they gathered underneath the sea and began to build a fortress. They became a community down there in the deeps. And over the years, as the number of increased, more and more people joined the community. When the first group of exiles died, they left the yet unfinished fortress to the Hydro Archon continued to lend her support, allowing the fortress and what it stood for to continue growing ever larger. Before long, this dark underwater fortress became the sinner's, and with that, the people here stopped referring to the fortress as a prison. They saw themselves as repenting sinners who would. But as time went on, people also realized that the fortress was a lonely place. Once they had gotten used to life here, they could no longer feel comfortable. Once they had finished serving their sentences, some people left and some others chose to stay. They'd find some idle position and let their withered soul. After many, many centuries, few people still remember the reason for the fortress's founding. Now and again, researchers manage to break one law or another and live out their days in the fortress. I learned all this from...
But now you know every part of that history is true.
Indeed. It's just as the prophecy says. If this gate fails, to be frank, not really. But sadly, that hasn't stopped it. Prophecies are troublesome things. Just hearing one will create the first wave of panic. Seeing sign, let's go somewhere else. This is it.
Your Grace, perfect timing. The results from our last round of experiments have...
Wait, Jurier, he's not alone!
Huh? Laura V?
No need to panic, you two. I've already told them about our plan.
What? After you warned us not to tell a single soul about any of this?
I'm skeptical as well. Are you sure they are trustworthy?
The results speak for themselves, don't they? These two may already know more than you could.
Alright then, if Your Grace insists.
They seem harmless enough, so I'll trust them for now.
Well, how about some reintroductions? This is Jurier, one of the highest ranked researchers from the Good. Saves me a bit of time. Edwin's main areas of research were archaeum and gravimeters. As his assistant, Jurier is quite familiar with them as well. I hired him.
You want to blow up the...
What a lovely idea. I'm all right.
Gotta admit,
Guys, focus! Focus!
That taskmaster over there is Miss Lorvine, and is also one of my technical consultants. While Jurier used to be Edwin's...
Ooh, are they together?
See, everyone keeps asking this question. Are you too sure you're not a couple and just using your work as a...
Your Grace, I am not...
If I dated her, I'd officially be madder than Edwin.
Jeez, forget I said anything then. Follow me.
Whoa, there's another door that goes right up.
Your constant amazement makes it seem like the fortress can do anything.
But Paimon really thinks everything's super cool.
Well, let's spice it up a bit. And here you go.
What a huge ship! This is also a production zone that Paimon's never seen before.
How much do you know about Fontania? Well, then maybe you haven't heard the story of ancient Lemuria. To give you a quick rundown, Fontaine, according to legend, the Lemurian king Remus came to this land after being inspired by divine revelation and found the seer Sibila, who had taken on the form of a golden bee. Taking the golden bee with him and riding on a huge ship, the Fortuna, he created his nation. He called his nation Lemuria, and used the Fortuna to incessantly search for new tribes and islands, calling on them to join.
There's a ship in this story too?
Where there's water, there'll be ships. People believe that hope can always be found at the end of...
Do you believe that too?
To a point, I think. As you've already seen, I have a whole factory's worth of labor, materials, and technology at my disposal. Certainly can't hurt to give it a try. So the moment I began to speculate that the primordial sea might lie underneath the gate, I also began this project.
Were you inspired by the legendary Fortuna?
Maybe. Fontanians need something to hold on to. Were the workers to find out the truth behind this ship, riots would destroy the fortress faster than any catastrophe. As the fortress's administrator, I'd never met... Alright, that's enough talking for now. I'll need another... Seems like you're good. Come on, I'll take you back. I'll leave you here for now.
Thank you so much.
No worries. But don't forget, it's up to you whether or not you want to share what you just saw. What you do from here...
Yeah, we'll put a lot of thought into it for sure.
Great. I look forward to what happens next.
Welcome back. Do you want a cup?
How can you be so much like Risley? Always drinking.
Actually, now that you mentioned, while I was sedated, I could still barely hear two people talking next to me. They were discussing it.
Must have been Risley and Seishun.
Yeah, I heard one male voice and one female, so it...
I really can't make sense.
So, Traveler, Paimon, were you able to learn any...
Yeah, he explained everything.
Very well. Then, would you mind checking your answers against my speculations? Yeah, I took the time to rest, so
Nobody else is around, and Miss Sejuin is also busy with something or other.
all right, then I'll posit my theories. I asked myself three. Firstly, why was Fremine affected by the primordial seawater? It was because he dove into the sea. My
Ooh, he's good. He got that right.
That's our Lenny.
Secondly, Risley's attitude changed dramatically during the course of our stay here. He ignored us completely at first. I spent quite a long time thinking about this. If he has been monitoring the Fatui since the very beginning, he probably ignored us at first because he was hoping we could find Master Child. What's more, the Fortress of Meripede is not part of Fontaine's court system, nor does it report to Udex Nervilet. Risley is, as long as the fortress doesn't do anything about Master Child's disappearance, Father can use it to pressure the Fontaine authorities. And while the two factions are pitted against each other, if I had to guess, he probably has something that he's working on himself. It's likely related to the secret of the infirmary, but I just...
You're super...
Thanks so much. Then finally, there's the last question. If Risley does have a plan, what could it be? All I know for now is that his plan probably has some... that can't be the full extent of what he's doing. There's probably a secret passageway behind the block in the infirmary, and there's something big in the fortress that most people here never get to see. I don't have enough information, so I have no idea what his chip might be.
Must see. Engulf everyone.
Could Risley have wanted to meet Father to figure out a way to... If you remember, I once mentioned that Father sees the House of the Hearth as her base of operations, and she truly wants to resolve the crisis.
Or perhaps he didn't know and just wanted to bring Father over to his side, which could be why he said he just...
Yeah, that makes sense to me. I understand your concerns as well, Traveler. I'll figure out a way to pass this on to our father. The two of you have already aided us far too much. We probably wouldn't be standing here. If you ever need anything else going forward, please come to the House of the... Though you may not share the sentiment, after all that we've gone through together, the three of us basically see...
You have my gratitude.
Thank you for protecting Lenny when it really mattered. And thank you for sharing the secrets of the fortress with us. We didn't...
Why are you being so formal all of a sudden?
Given your strength, you might not need our help at all. But if you are ever in danger...
Aww, the sound of that makes Paimon feel all warm. Paimon's hungry.
Oh,
Alright, then we'll catch you guys another time. you, Miss?
And I'm taking the opportunity.
You're right.
What would you like to eat? Yep, you can. I've already talked to our chef, Mr. Wolsey. It's all on me today, so you can get whatever you'd like.
Me too. Don't forget Pop.
No problem. Just leave.
Delicious. Paimon's so happy. Paimon wants to feast.
Feeling full yet? How's the food?
Delicious.
I'm so glad to see you all so happy. Oh, see the expression on your face just now? The muscle here just moved.
What, Sejuine? Do you do this to help your patients or to better?
A bit of both, I suppose. I'm a Melusine, which means I'm very different from human beings. I must know what you're thinking if I want to.
You're really good at taking care of people. Even though you're so short, you still talk and act like a...
Really? You're reminded of an older sister?
Oh, and what did you mean back in Risley's office? When you said that you were protecting Linny and his siblings as well?
Oh, that. I just asked His Grace to look out for those children, especially that diver boy. I was getting a bit worried after hearing that something. Thankfully, Glorand is very strong and managed to save him in the nick of time. His Grace also sealed the pipes after Glorand left, and to make sure that Linny, although the path was blocked, we still stationed some guards there to stop anyone from approaching. They were instructed to only open the door once Miss Oh, and I was keeping an eye on Mr. Linny as well. We had to press him, but we couldn't allow him to be in any
You were all super considerate and really thought everything...
It's just what we do down here at the fortress. At least this has been His Grace's style for as long as... I really wish Monsieur Nervulette would come down here more often too. I feel like he'd like it here. With all... Get a good night's rest, you two. You've both worked...
Take it easy.
So much has happened. Paimon's super sleep. Delicious.
Wait. Get what happened? Why is everyone run? No idea, but something must have happened. Stop asking.
Who's you? What happened? Why is everyone running around? Hey, what are you doing?
There's no time to explain, mate. Goodbye.
Hey, wait! What's wrong with these people? They won't even talk to us.
They're here! There you are!
Oh, thank goodness.
Quisto and Lavaroon, do you know what happened here?
We came here especially to inform you. Something seems to have gone terribly wrong just now. His Great Lavaroon was saying you two are new here and you don't have many friends, so you might slip through the cracks. Haven't you heard all the stories like that? An evacuation is successfully completed, yet you only find out once you do a head count that one or two...
Wait, weren't you the one who brought that up? Why is it suddenly...
Hey, shut up!
Okay, whatever. The point is, you should come with us. Yeah, he said to get as far away as possible.
Oh no, it can't be that thing!
Oh, wait, what? What? Hey, where are you going?
We have to go find the Duke! You two just go and get out! Go on without us!
Hey! Be careful!
Attention! Please evacuate upwards and outwards, upwards and outwards. If you're already at the topmost layer, then try to move as far outwards as possible.
Take it easy.
They're here.
Just like I said. You're just in time. But be ready to run.
This won't hold it for long. Find Neuvillette. Tell him the defenses are about to collapse.
Until he arrives, we're the last line of defense. The gate. How long do you think it'll hold?
That depends on us.
Traveler, I need you to head to the Opera House and meet Farina. Will soon be meeting with the knave there. You must protect Farina and make sure she doesn't spend too much time alone. Will do. You have...
Traveler in Paimon? Though I'm sure he's already explained, there should be a
Oh, so you two are the honored guests, Miss Fer-
Of course! How could they not attend a meeting such as this? I must always have 2 or more guests at my dessert table.
It is my pleasure to make your acquaintance, traveler. I have heard much of your accomplishments. I am...
I've already prepared seats for you. Come.
Perhaps you two are unaware of how Miss Farina and I do things. You see, we actually recently agreed to get together for tea when we had to see this. This is a limited type of confectionery that Miss Farina simply adores.
There are only 16 slices sold every day. Here.
Traveler, what do you think of this cake?
That's good to hear. So what Child said was on the mark after all. You do share a taste in desserts with Furry. I wonder how he's doing nowadays. You must have heard, right? He's suddenly gone missing. I'm really worried about his safety, you know. Here's to hoping that he's an excellent...
Since we're talking about him, I feel like I should add something. His martial prowess really looked...
Oh, so you're also familiar with his aptitude for fighting, Miss Farina. Oh, right. I almost forgot. Against ordinary people, my colleague would never be on the back foot. But alas, he just never imagined he'd run into such a person. Coming from you, that's...
but I thought you would be happier to hear the news.
Of course, but it's still a bit of a shame. You see, I would have been far happier had I received this news somewhat earlier, as you well know.
Well, in any case, there's no need to worry.
Oh, and just how do you know that?
Because we found...
And where did he go after leaving the fort?
Well?
The fortress of Meripede lies deep beneath the waves. Unless he pranced right out of the main gate, he must have had to swim for it. Deep. Ah, that is good news at least. His sister Tonya sent a letter to Fontaine not too long ago. Since he was unfortunately... Do you have any idea how he usually writes back to his family? Dear Tonya, your letter made me feel like we were still enjoying our time in Snezhnaya together. I'm currently...
All letters tend to follow the same few formats anyway, right? As long as the contents are accurate, it doesn't matter so much how it's written.
Hold on. The water and the tea...
I suppose this is also a sign of things to come.
I don't quite understand what you're...
Have we entered into the next stage of the prophecy?
My thanks to you both. I will take it from here.
Sure you don't need a hand?
Quite sure. Wow. So, what's your secret, huh? Let me guess. Nah, who knows? Maybe it's just your sense of responsibility.
Sounds about right.
Day may come when the prophecy is fulfilled and the waters burst forth. But it is this day. This ancient power could easily obliterate an entire race. A tsunami of fury would unleash endless catastrophe. This sentence is too severe. Forgive me for overruling it.
All right. Seems like...
Let me guess, we're safe. Indeed. I win this bet.
Very well. It was indeed.
You made a bet? We made a bet on the size of your entourage. Cloran thought you wouldn't come down.
I figured you would have at least brought a few people along for appearance's sake. It appears I underestimated just how
Shouldn't you have gotten used to confidential missions by now?
So what gift must the loser give?
He already has tons of tea in his office. I'm thinking...
That wouldn't happen to be a dig at my lack of legal awareness, would it?
Well, I'm sure His Grace doesn't consider the fortress to be outside...
I was under the impression the residents of a place like this would be uninterested in the...
That was obviously a joke. Anyway, you've still got some unfinished business to attend to in the Oval.
No need to stay here if you have a pressing matter. We all know you can't leave Palais Mermonia for long.
Thank you. I hope everything went smoothly with the...
I must say, we've spent long enough playing Miss Farina. As the Hydro Archon, I am sure you understand the exact meaning of the phenomenon we just witnessed. Or should I say, that's what I originally thought.
What are you trying to say?
At this point, I don't think there's any more need to speak as diplomatic representatives. Allow me to speak to you now as just a Fontanian. You know the prophecy by heart, yet here you are relaxing, drinking tea, and eating desserts as if it's all nothing more than the prophecies hanging above our necks like a guillotine. Every faction is looking for a way to either avert the disaster or save their own. Even the orphans of the House of the... But you? It beggars belief just how nonchalant and carefree you have been. From the very beginning, you, the god Focalor, you have...
You're wrong. I've never ignored the prophecy, nor have I just been passing the time in self-indulgence. Retract your accusation and stop doubting the wisdom...
I am not alone in my doubts, you know. All the children of Fontaine may be harboring the exact same... Oh, great Hydro Archon. How are you going to save them? Save us?
I have my ways, and I've been working on them for all this time. Even if you, Fontaine, will be saved. Even if I still cannot see the true future right now, as long as I continue on.
Then I ask you, Miss Farina, just what have you been working on? Where can we seek...
My machinations are just like the prophecy itself. They will only reveal themselves at the fated time.
I see. As a god, the proof of your labor always lies beyond prying. Allow me to be so bold as to ask another way. Would it be possible for you to tell us the parts of your plan that are not confidential? Such as...
an emergency...
Oh, that look in your eyes.
The emergency response plan is all...
Then allow me to jog your memory. Miss Farina, what is the purpose and what do you plan to do with the massive amounts of indemnitium that has accumulated?
The Oratrice? It's just like it appears...
So you also have no idea. If I'm not mistaken, someone's using it to prepare for something. But unfortunately, I first caught wind of this when Linny tried to investigate the Oratrice in the Opera House. You see, even just getting close to the core contaminated him with an extremely large amount. But even if that had nothing to do with you, then what could you possibly be working on? Oh, right. I almost forgot. Udex Nouvillette is not at the tea party with us today. Miss Farina.
Yes, that's exactly right.
Of course I will. Although, I must say, Miss Farina, you seem quite Oh, very well. Let's stop that conversation here.
There are still a few slices of cake left. Traveler, I heard that you were recently commissioned to handle a few matters on behalf of the Udex. Why don't you take an extra slice of cake? Those who work hard deserve gratitude and praise. You too, Paimon.
Thank you. Paimon will take you up on that offer. Oh, Paimon's super
If it's on my tea table, it must be of the highest quality.
You're welcome. I'm sure the cake also felt greatly honored to be featured at Miss Farina's table, and I was merely catering to Miss... it is getting late. Why don't we call it a day? There are still a few matters that I need to take care of, so...
Very well. We'll end...
Mind seeing me off, Traveler? We could use the opportunity to discuss Child before I must be on my way.
Paimon's coming too.
I'm glad that you were willing to come with me. Of course, Child was just an excuse. I have no interest in your dealings.
That's what I thought.
You lent your aid to the children of the House of the Hearth. As their father? Do I look like an irresponsible father to you? The House of the Hearth is very important to me. That was all. Formal topics should be discussed in formal settings. I know you just returned from the fortress of Meripede. Relax. I have no intention of trying to get anything out of you. Linny, Lynette, and Fremine are still there, and I trust...
They've all been working very hard and have always done all they can to fight back against anyone who tried...
You mean Ridesley. He's a tricky one to deal with. It's unfortunate, by the way, and you can just consider this a bit of idle gossip. You are outside of our disputes, and the freest person in all of Fontaine, able to move around most easily. Allow...
And that's everything that happened during the trial. Master Child was declared guilty and immediately transported to the Fortress of...
Didn't he say he was coming here on vacation? Does he not feel an ounce of shame for all the trouble Forget it. He did give us an opportunity. I will be meeting someone short.
Do you require help with any preparation?
No need. I need to meet with Farina, the Hydro Archon. She is at the heart of Fontaine. But what's
Oh, come over here, you little critter, you! You dare to run from me? Stop right this...
My goal is just to discover the location of the Gnosis. But I didn't expect the chance to approach Farina to be handed to me on a silver platter. This is so easy. Anything left unguarded is usually just bait. But no one will blame someone for taking the bait. After all, from the moment it was attached to the hook, it's just as I guessed in the second before I struck. The Hydronosis is not currently held by the... In fact, this Archon doesn't seem like a god at all. And I sense that she's under...
Who are you? And what are you trying to do?
The fear in her pupils is genuine, so perhaps she's not bait after all. Either way, I left the scene with ease. Nobody came looking for me, and nobody could serve as a witness to my near assassination of Focalor. I suspect even Farina dared. Not long after, my informants confirmed what I had guessed. After returning to her quarters, Farina quietly cried alone. She was so scared that she could not sleep that night, nor could she. There's no doubt that there's something wrong with her. I began to entertain the possibility that she is not the true Hydro Archon. Perhaps I have to find the Gnosis. If the Neuvillette hypothesis is correct, he is probably in possession of it. Alternatively, it might.
Yes, Father.
My dear children, please.
News from the fortress of Meripede. Master Child has gone missing. On top of that, the contacts and guards we bribed at the fortress have all gone quiet.
Probably the handiwork of that rot.
I'm afraid so.
This is a good opportunity. The value of a harbinger is much higher than most would imagine. We now have an excuse to exert diplomatic pressure on the. Set up a meeting for me. I would like to meet the Hydra. Oh, and I have an.
Yes, Father.
Tartaglia's disappearance was not a part of my plan, but I can use it to make a breakthrough. With this as my excuse, I can ask for an official audit. The initiative belongs to the House of the Hearth. My wish to investigate the fortress of Meripede will be a front. Lenny and his group will be responsible for the act. You should know the rest. Lenny's group is quite close to you. It wouldn't mean anything, even if you shouted it from the rooftops. After all, even Farina herself was still. I've now had 2 chances to enjoy tea with Farina. I have to say, the leadership of Fontaine is even more inscrutable than I had imagined. I once surmised that Eudex Neuvillette must be the Hydro Archon, but now. That doesn't seem right. I am a servant of Her Majesty the Tsaritsa. Over my years of service, I've learned how a real Archon conducts and carries themselves. Whether you... Of course, that is all just how I feel. Gut feelings often do... It is, however, quite amusing to me that after all my years working in intelligence gathering, I've come to realize I am at a complete loss regarding the identity of the god. Don't you think Fontaine is quite intriguing? A catastrophe looms, yet many secrets have yet to rise to the surface. Ultimately, though, one must survive in order to do anything else. You don't need to commit to anything right now, of course. I have a feeling that the situation will continue to evolve, and as your name is often connected with noble deeds, I'm sure we will work together someday. He certainly returned quickly. You must want...
Neuvillette?
For now, yes. But this issue will prove quite thorny in the long term. I'm concerned that... Thank you for protecting Farina. To put it simply, I used my power to force back the primordial sea and reseal the So as expected, the knave has turned up the pressure on for permission granted.
Whoa. It can't be that you're the real Hydro Archon, right? But that's... You can't tell us? Then that's okay. We can talk about something else. We won't try to force you.
If by the phrase "you guys" you are referring to Farina and I, then although I'm not sure just what you are trying to imply, I must clarify that I do not share her positions on a multitude of topics. I believe so. The fortress has a long and complex history, and now another catastrophe will soon be upon us.
Huh? Why is it...
You may be closer to the truth than...
Oh? And what are you thinking? The dragon of... what? Huh?
Please do not be so...
We were just guessing randomly. We didn't guess right, did we? You're not actually the Dragon Sovereign of what?
You guessed correctly. I sincerely hope you'll be able to...
Right, of course. Well, there's still something...
Please, go ahead.
Well, if you are the Dragon Sovereign of Water, then since Fontaine's prophecy is all about seawater,
None of the currently living dragon sovereigns in the world, myself included. They say that when the first usurper arrived on Tivat, they seized a part of the dragon's power. Today,
there are 7 elemental archons and 7 matching dragons.
The dragon sovereign of water who lived through that era perished a long time ago. As their successor, I know far less of that part. In any case, I believe I will not be able to do much unless the Archon disappears and returns their element. Given the status quo, however, I would recommend finding another way to deal with the I still have some urgent matters to attend to at my office. If you have any more questions regarding...
Please go right ahead. There's a place that Paimon... We'll see you another time.
Take care.
Take it easy.
Now guess.
Well, look who it is.
Traveler, Paimon.
Looks like you're recovering nicely from...
Thanks to right.
Whoa, how did she
She told me that it was nothing. It was as if saving a life wasn't a big deal to her.
She didn't want to stress you out, that's all. She's right, and it's...
Yeah.
Okay, but check this out. We went back to the opera.
You meant father? Did she...
She said a few things that were, a bit hard to understand. And also that she's looking...
Her attitude towards you is even better than what we'd imagined. You should believe her. She has her own way of doing things, and she'll do everything in her power to help those she considers close, which...
Father is very capable.
Oh, Paimon just remembered that she thought Lenny was a bit too proud as well. She said that you should learn how to rely on others.
That does sound like something that Father...
Hey!
Are you going to stay here for the next few...
Looks like it, yeah?
Excellent. I will hope...
For real? Then Paimon wants another serving of...
Another implies that you were already served some delicious cake while you were up there. Well, next time, you're going to have tea and snacks.
Traveler, Paimon, are you still doing all right? Did either of you... We're fine, but what about you guys? A few people sustained superficial injuries, but that's about the extent of the damage. Monsieur Nervulette paid us a bit... Oh, of course. We must also... How did Nervulette know that he was... Monsieur Nervulette has strong resonance with the hydro element. When the water level... I ran into the bombshell bros while bandaging the injuries of the wounded. They were mumbling the whole time about how you just ran down. If you're not too pressed for time, please stay. Just let me know if you get a craving for any particular dish, so I can have Mr. Walsey get your meals prepared. Oh, and I'd like to take the opportunity to spend some more time observing your facial muscles as well. Your happy smiles are quite contagious, you know. There's so many...
Take it easy.
You guys are...
You guys didn't get caught and thrown back down here.
And here I thought you'd managed to escape from jail during all the commotion. I'd held you up as legendary jailbreakers, but now you're telling me you just...
We're sorry, but we just had some bit...
All right. There's no need to get caught up in the details. We're just relieved to see you. He was super worried about you,
Hey, it wasn't just me. Weren't you super worried?
Something like that, yeah. I was also transferred to work in the kitchen a few days ago. I can still hear Quisto mumbling to the carrots. Are those two all right? Whenever he'd say that, I'd tell him I'm sure they're fine. Wherever they are, they're kicking back with drinks in hand.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with worrying about your prison pals. Is there? I mean, considering how they always love listening.
These two, they sure are a lot warmer and friendlier than when Paimon first met them.
Oh, well, if you say so. I'll be watching you to make...
Take it easy.
Jurier,
Yeah, I was working on...
that's no excuse for...
Junior, Lurvine, we're back!
Hello there. It's been quite the mess here recently.
And you, are you still taking the secret passageway?
Yep. That is still top secret, though.
It can be a bit annoying when there are lots of people in the infirmary, but I still prefer...
I mean, the infirmary does make it easier.
Oh, yeah? Then why are you...
You two really are just using your jobs as a cover for your relationship.
Not at all!
Take it easy.
Do my eyes deceive me, or did I just see two inmates come back after making it to the surface?
We wanted to see how the fortress is doing. Is everything still...
We're fine, for the most part. Neuvillette came down and...
If that's the case, why don't you just ask him to stick...
Oh, yeah, what a brilliant plan. Let's go convince the Eudex himself to exchange the Courts of Fontaine for a puddle of water in the middle. He came here in a hurry and left without even stopping for a cup of tea. He did remember to take Miss...
He sure sounds super...
Miss Cloran has left as well. She also took...
Were the gifts milkshake?
Neuvillette got the milkshake. Cloran received lipstick and...
Those aren't even remote...
Well, it's Neuvillette's own fault for making Sigewinne worried about his health by working so much. But besides that, our head nurse is still pretty fond of picking out beauty products for... Oh, and I have some gifts here for you.
Are these from
Nope, they're from You've already wrapped up your work at the fortress, so you can return to the surface at any time. You haven't yet served your full prison term, however, so you may continue to use your cell until you're...
For real? Then we could stay here for a really long time?
You may access the cafeteria.
Hooray!
Just remember to come complete your paperwork once it's time for your...
We're back in our cell again. We're no longer prisoners, though. Sure feels that way. But the truth... Huh? How did you know? Hey, that's not true! It's like we've now gone to so many places together and become friends with so many people. There are so many bad things in the world, and we're just two people, but you're counting Paimon today? Aren't you the only adventurer? Then let's ask Catherine to give Paimon an adventurer handbook as well. Paimon will also be an adventurer. Just our thoughts making Paimon giddy. The last time we fell asleep here, we woke up to a whole mess outside our cell. The primordial seawater near... We should be safe now. All